Hi guys, today we're going to use Corel Draw to create and prepare a 4-inch drink coaster that will later be cut and engraved using our laser engraver. The coaster will be made out of 1/8-inch Baltic birch plywood. I like to use that because it's a light colored wood and engraves and cuts easily. Our laser is a 50-watt Rayjet with an 18-inch by 12-inch cutting bed size. All right, let's begin. The first thing we'll need to do is open Corel Draw, which should be down in the menu, the taskbar, or else up on your desktop. So I will select the Corel Draw icon and double click. That opens the program. When we get to the program, we want to start a new document. We're going to name this coaster. We'll set the width of the bed size to 18, height to 12. Make sure they're in inches. That's a little tick mark right there. We'll set our primary color mode to RGB, and we'll go ahead and leave everything else the same. And go ahead and click OK. That shows us the workspace that we have to work with. This is the size of the laser bed on our laser cutter. So the first thing we need to do is draw a bounding box that will be close to the size of the coaster we're going to make. So I'm going to come over and click the square box or the square tool. And then I will just come over my workspace and drag a box of any size. Now we need to resize the box to make it closer to the size of our coaster. In the ribbon area, near the top of the screen, we will change the X and Y coordinates, which will change the size of our box. So I'll highlight the top number and change it to 4.25, which is 4 1/4. I'll click in the next box, which is our y-axis, and I will type in 4.25, and then I hit enter. You'll see that since I had the lock turned on, when I change one, the other tries to stay proportional. So I have to click on the lock to unlock it before I make these changes. So I'm going to highlight the top one again and type 4.25, enter. And you'll see that the box resizes to be a 4 1/2 by 4 1/4 rather by 4 1/4. Since this is just a bounding box, we don't want the laser engraver to cut this shape. We want it to cut a circle out of this shape. So we don't want it to cut the square. This is just for our benefit. It's kind of like construction lines in drafting. They're just there to help us place other items. So I have to tell the software so that the laser software will know whether to cut, engrave, or just leave it alone. Because I want it to just leave it alone, I'm going to come over to our palette on the right side of the screen, and I'm going to click on the box, the white box with the X in it, and that tells it to make that item unfilled. So I click that once, you see it kind of blink there is about all you get. Then I'm going to come down to the blue square and right click once. You'll notice when I do that, that the outer edge of the square turns blue. Now the reason I want it blue is because the laser software sees that, or can be programmed to see it, as just leave that alone. That just helps us know where to put the rest of what we're going to do. Now sometimes you might make a mistake, and instead of right clicking on the blue square, you left click. Here's what happens. See how it filled the whole object? Now, in order to fix that, you would have to go back up to the remove fill, which is the white box with the X in it, and click on that, and it takes us back to where that object is not filled anymore. Next, we're going to move the square up to the upper left-hand corner. The laser head begins in this corner, and that's where it's going to want to start cutting. That's its home position. So I'm going to click on the pick tool, which is this black arrow. I'm going to come down and click on the center and drag the box up to that left-hand corner. If you can get it as close as possible, it's going to make it more accurate when it cuts. Now we'll draw the shape of our coaster. I want it to be round, so I will click on the ellipse tool and hold the control key down on my keyboard as I click and drag a circle. At this point, it doesn't matter what size it is, so I release the mouse button and we can do similar to what we did with the square and resize it by coming up and making sure that the lock ratio is unlocked, and change the size of our ellipse to 4 and 4, and you'll see that the circle resizes to that size. Now, with the circle highlighted, we need to center it over our square. This is the shape that is going to be cut out. So I'm going to click on the center mark, drag it up to the square, and you'll see it kind of snap to the center point of the square. At this point, I want to remove the fill from the circle and change the line to be a red hairline. That tells the laser cutting software to cut that shape out of our material. So I will go over to the remove fill button like we did with the square. Click that first. Then I'll go down to the red box on the right side and right click once, and you'll see that the line turned to red. But in order for the laser software to see that as a cutting line, we'll click this drop down menu and change it to hairline. The laser software sees a hairline red as a cut line. Now that we have our piece of material laid out, we need to go ahead and add the text. We will click on the text tool over on the left menu. Then we'll click and release somewhere on the screen and go ahead and type our words. This is a coaster. We can then click our pick tool, and you'll notice that that's pretty small. I would like to make it bigger. So if I select the font size, I can go down to about 48 or so. Now if we try to align our text with our circle center, you'll notice that the text is a lot bigger than the circle. What I'd like to do is wrap this so that it followed the inside of the circle. The way you do that is make sure that the text is highlighted. Hold the shift key down and click on the circle. That highlights both of them. I'll go up to text and fit text to path. You'll notice that that curves around. Right now it's on the outside of the circle, which means that most of that will be cut off as we laser cut it. So we have this little handle right down here at the beginning of each one. If I click on one of those, I can drag it toward the inside and you'll see that it resizes the text. It also keeps it proportional to the diameter of the circle. Now, as you can see, there's a pretty big gap between this and the end of coaster. So by playing around with the text size a little bit, we can fill that in. So I'm going to come to the top here, change this to 59 because I've played with it before and already know what it should be. Hit enter, and you see that now we kind of filled that in. It's important to note right now that the text is already black. And as I've mentioned before, the laser engraver sees black as something that needs to be engraved. Red is cut and blue is just left alone. So we are ready now to send this out to our laser engraver. To do that, we go to File and drag down to Print. When the print window comes up, it's important to note that you need to have your laser engraver's driver already installed, or this part won't work. If that doesn't show up, we have to click the drop down menu and select it. The next step is to click on Preferences and wait and wait and wait. And at this point, we see the Rayjet driver. Mine is already defaulting to plastic. However, we want wood. So we'll click the little arrow to the side until we see the one that looks like a piece of wood right here, and we'll click on that. Now we need to select the right material and make it the right thickness. After I clicked on wood, we come to this list. If I drag over to the side a little bit, I'll get a box where I can type the thickness. This one's already 0.125, which is 1/8. So I'll leave it at that. I'll turn autofocus off by clicking the little lever. That turns it on. We turn it off. We focus a different way, so we're not going to worry about that. We want to make sure that the black box is selected and make sure engrave is selected. We want air assist on, and we need to decide how much power we're going to need to engrave. Now, birch is a light material, probably isn't going to take a whole lot to darken it. I would start out around 50% power, however. That way we can do a test piece and see if that'll be enough. If it isn't, we can always add more to that later. We'll leave speed at 100%. This engraving goes pretty fast. Then I'll come click on the red box next to the black one. And this is for cutting. So red cuts. So we make sure that's cut. We want 100% power to go all the way through the material, but we want to slow the speed way down so that it'll cut cleanly and all the way through. You might have to play with this a little bit. We're going to change this to 1% and click outside so that it changes. Again, we'll leave air assist on. That'll help blow the ash and the smoke out of the way. And if we click on the little plus next to the black and red, we can add a new color. In fact, it automatically does that to blue, and we want it to skip that. We can turn the air assist off for that layer, and we don't need any power or speed. So I'm going to change those to 0, neither of which we need. It'll default to a certain amount. Now we can go ahead and click the next button. This brings us to a set of standard settings. We want to leave that on standard. We'll choose order dithering. That seems to work real well. We want the engraving direction to be up. That means the smoke and everything rises up and the fan inside the machine pulls the smoke away. If we go down, if I were doing something that had holes in it, I might want to do that, but otherwise I'd leave it. We're going to make the resolution pretty high, although on wood it doesn't make a huge difference. We could go clear down to like 250 and it'd probably still work fine. I like to leave it up a little higher. It takes a little bit longer, but not too much. We want to make sure cutting table is checked, and the thickness of our cutting table is 0.768 inches. We leave that. That helps with the focusing of the laser, and so it knows where to cut our material. We can click select again, or next rather. It gives a little bit of a summary of everything we've selected. Most important part here is just make sure we click with Rayjet start button. That's when it will begin the engraving. We're going to hit process and print. This is very important. Be sure and hit the print button or it won't continue on. Now everything disappears and you wonder what happened. This one took me a while to figure out, but down here underneath your icons, we have a little RM button, which means Rayjet Mini Manager. We want to select that. That opens the manager for the print. We actually have to double click that. It brings up the Rayjet Manager, and we'll notice that Coaster Tutorial, which is what this is called, is the first in the list. Also, you see kind of grayed out a bunch of our other projects that have been done before. We want to select the one we want to send to the printer. Click the Move Job to Printer to Laser, and you'll notice that it sends our coaster to the laser. And if we move off it, you can see that the home position is where our little icon in the right is, right there. So it's going to begin there and work its way across and cut our part out. The Rayjet 50 watt. When you first turn the laser on, the bed lowers to its bottom limit. We need to raise the table, so I pushed the up arrow right here on our controller, and that raises the bed. We just bring it up a little ways to get it closer to where we're going to be using it, somewhere in there. Then I retrieve a piece of the material that I'm going to use. With our material in the machine, we have now clicked on the laser tab. At this point, we'll hit the Move Home. And since we're pretty close already, the laser will move and beep. If you've heard that, that means we're in the begin position. At this point, we'll go back to our preview tab and select Start. The machine then moves, starts, and begins to cut. After it finishes cutting, we'll go ahead and raise the lid and pull it out of the machine. And here's the finished coaster. That's also about it for this project. Thanks for watching.